He's on both.
Are we on?
Yes.
Again, to call the meeting of March 23rd order. Please rise for a reflection and pledge of allegiance. We gather together to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping our minds and hearts impartial. Let us always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Kovacs,
Here.
Dan Swisher,
Here.
David Seiler, Kevin Brannon,
Present.
Jeremy Ingham,
Here.
Paul Shockey,
Here.
William Theobald,
Here.
Mayor Buckharton, Eileen O'Malley, Michael Flynn,
Here.
Dennis Fernando,
Here.
Ken Troopert, Paul Whitmire, Jason Kennedy. Here is up.
Okay, thank you. Public notice and executive session was held this evening at 2 p.m. for the purpose of collecting information, educating agency members about an issue. Are there any revisions or additions to the agenda? Any public comments on agenda issues? No public presentations. We have to, if everyone has had the opportunity to review the minutes for the March 9th meeting, if there are no corrections or additions, I'd like to motion to approve it.
I'll make that motion. Okay.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Administration, we have disposition of surplus park benches. We need an authorization for the borough manager to dispose of surplus park picnic tables and list those equipment on municipal bid and accept the highest bid for approximately 19 park picnic tables. Any questions? I'll need a motion to authorize the borough manager then to dispose of the surplus park tables and list the equipment on municipal bid and accept the highest bid for approximately 19 park picnic tables.
Are we replacing or what are we doing?
They're surplus that we already replaced. So, and if we
So
don't,
these are used.
they're used, they're kind of, and if we can't get a bid on municipal bid, then we'll open it up and see if anybody in the borough wants
I was
to.
just wondering how we got so many surplus benches.
Ask the question.
Yes.
Madam President, to the question, for all of the park projects, part of the contracts were to replace the picnic tables at those parks. And so what happened was a lot of those older ones came out as they were being replaced. So they wound up over at Public Works. They're just taking up space. So why not try to make them available for someone who might be able to use them?
Okay, does anybody would like to make that motion?
Make a motion.
And we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. We have a contract or resolution. What is this? A resolution? Resolution number 790, authorizing the borough manager to submit the traffic signal maintenance agreement, to submit future modifications to the attached traffic signal maintenance agreement, and to submit future applications for traffic signal approval to PennDOT. And can you explain that? It's something we have to do.
It's something that's the borough is required to do. It's basically the PennDOT turns all those traffic signals over to the borough for maintenance and repair. So this is just an agreement between PennDOT and the borough to provide that maintenance.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, what the manager just explained, Chief, does that mean you guys actually administer these devices to change lights and stuff? Yeah, all done through PennDOT. All through PennDOT, that's what I thought. So what?
We repair them when they.
We're responsible for all the cost. Yeah, so let's give you, for instance, if a light burned out, I think council brought up it was a question of one of a meeting not too long ago. Why do we have to pay somebody to fix that? We're responsible for all maintenance. Yes.
There's no questions. I'll need a motion to adopt resolution 790, authorizing the borough manager to submit the traffic signal maintenance agreement, to submit future modifications to the attached traffic signal maintenance agreement, and to submit future applications for traffic signal approval to PennDOT.
I'll make that motion.
Move a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Council committee reports, community engagement and events. Do we have anything going on?
Yeah, we got a couple of things. Next Monday, is, the 30th of March, and that is the In the Know event that's being held down at the, Castle Shannon Fire Department, the Fireman's Hall. Being co-sponsored by the CSPD, Baldwin Township PD, and the CSVFD. It's put on by, Trooper Rocco Gigliardi.
Yes, sir.
It's been featured, this actual event has been featured recently on Channel 2 News and Channel 11 News. And it's about protecting, people from scammers and predators. I just found out that both my grandchildren play Roblox, and this is one of the big things that the predators. So I know that their parents are keeping a watchful eye on that, but anybody that has kids that are online or anybody that uses the internet should probably make an attempt to attend this because it's going to be very educational from what I understand.
Do we have a time frame, like hours? What?
6:30 to 8:30.
6:30 to 8:30. There's flyers in the back there, and if anybody wants to take a flyer with them, and there's some out front also.
It's on our website.
Oh, I was going to say, it will be on our website. Okay. Thank you.
And then Jeremy's going to speak about the Community Day.
Community Day, once again, is Saturday, May 30th. Planning is still going on. I think the committee has pretty much all of the food vendors lined up and in place for the event. We are now transitioning over to the field vendors, businesses, getting them involved in the process. Entertainment bands are kind of being finalized right now. We have to tweak, I think, a few things to move some time slots around to try to get some bands in. And then the laser show, like I said last week, meeting is back on. We're going to try that one more time just to see what, hopefully a bigger crowd enjoys it. So hope to see everyone there and more information as we continue planning.
Thank you so much. Finance?
Yes, I received 2 check registers since the last meeting, dated March 13th and March 20th. And the only question I had was answered. So I have nothing further unless you do.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Council nameplates and signs on the check register of the 13th, $269. Is that the
And to replace these and also the
nameplates?
All right, I'll pay up.
Another one on that same check register, Vicky. Team Nuts signs for $3,090.
those were additional no parking and other like parking rule signs for works to
For Public Works to,
place along the streets. I know there were a couple of
are they the providers of these signs always for the borough?
not always, but they have been they've used them
For that?
last year or so. They're 50.
All right. Okay. And another one, on the 20th, I see Public Works. Looks like they bought 2 trash cans for $481.51.
It was 6.
Pardon me?
It was 6.
Oh, well, it only listed 2 in the
Two
check
different
register.
sizes.
Yeah, 2 different sizes, but it only listed 2. It didn't say 6. So
Uh,
it said 32 and 44 gallon. It didn't say the number.
okay.
Is that,
I'll have to edit that, but it is 6. There were 2.
is that reasonable cost for the 6 of those?
Looking online, I believe I will look to compare.
We've been using Uline for a lot of our purchases only because they, for certain size orders, will actually provide a municipal discount. So we've used them for quite a bit, and we've actually are trying out some of their, you should see, I think in order, I don't know if it's on this one or is it's going to be on the next one for the chemicals. We ordered some cleaning supplies too, just to see how their products stand up to what we've been using in the past. So,
There were 6 cans.
and that was my understanding. That's what I gave authorization for, was to buy
6 of them? Okay.
And my understanding in talking to the Public Works foreman is those cans are used for, I think, maintenance when they're out cutting grass. So it's something that they use, they wear out, they get beat up, and they just so happen this go around, they needed to be replaced.
Got it. All right. That's it for myself. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other questions, I need a motion to authorize the payment of all the outstanding bills and invoices totaling $246,609.33 from the general fund, $11,306.47 from the streetlight fund, $9,007.29 from the sanitary sewer fund, $14,211.06 from the capital fund, $22,862.51 from liquid fuels fund, $12,329.10 from the library fund, $6,158 from the asset forfeiture fund, and $4,322.81 from the employee sinking fund. Anyone want to make that motion?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. HR personnel, we have nothing there. Library.
Library I have, there was no meeting, but I do have some fun facts to pass along. The Takoya fundraiser from February 25th netted the library an additional $300. So thanks to everybody that went to Takoya. The book sale was very successful. That will be reviewed at the Friends of the Library meeting on the 30th of this month, along with details of the upcoming flea market, which will be on April 11th from 9 to 2 at the library. The Tiny Art Show is the 21st of April. Canvases need to be returned by the 11th as well. Mug of the Month tickets are still on sale for March. Purchase those at the library. The next fundraiser is for Texas Roadhouse on the 31st of March, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And 10% of the profits will come back to the library. And the next library board meeting is April 9th at 7 p.m. at the library. And of course, all of our information can be found on the website or the digital display board in front of the library. So,
Any questions? Thank you.
May I
Got it.
ask
Sure.
one more thing?
no,
That was very good.
what else do I have to say?
Well, I have something
Oh,
exciting and
Well, did he
fun.
fall asleep?
No, we love having him on our board. Mary Craig, 837 Londonderry Drive, the secretary for the board. So if you all remember, probably about a month and a half to 2 months ago, we were talking about, as the board, not our primary responsibility to raise money, but we really were thinking about what could we do, maybe something a little bit different and bring in some added revenue to the library. We tossed around a lot of ideas and we have actually finalized everything, and we're going to have our fundraiser on May 2nd. And what I did is I brought these, this is why Dave, you didn't have it yet. Yeah, if you take one and pass to this side, and you'll take one and pass to that side. But basically what we're going to do is we have a magician coming, we have a caricaturist coming, we have Josh Taylor from KDKA. The sports guy is going to run a little sports trivia event for us as well. We were able to get some donations to do a silent auction, and you'll see those items that are listed there, and more things are still coming in every day. But we wanted to, get something out there so that we can start distributing this to the public, and it will be on the library website as well. We are limiting tickets, so we're hoping, to get a nice round of people coming in already. And it's $15 a person, $40 for a family of 4, and that is a mix of adults, kids, whatever. But it's going to be a great night. People will be getting free door prizes when they come in, not the prize with the ticket. And they'll be able to pick which door prize they would like to put their ticket in, and hopefully they'll win. And hopefully they'll also be able to purchase some of the silent auction items. So we are asking that people register ahead of time. So, that helps us in looking at the food and what we need in terms of beverages and so on. So I'm just really happy to share with you all. And Dave's been part of the conversation, but it's been moving a little bit behind the scenes. And I thought, I got the flyer. I'm bringing it up tonight.
Perfect.
So we
Thank you.
hope that you guys will be able to come, if not all of you, some of you. It would be great to see you at the event. We really think it's our inaugural event from the board. And we're really excited about it. So, and we want to raise some more money for the library. So nothing
That's
bad.
Saturday, May 2nd.
Yep, Saturday, May 2nd, 6
Hey.
o'clock at night. Yep. Thank you so much.
Come up with a maximum of amount of tickets,
110,
110.
110. That's where we're going to cut it off.
Can you bring flyers up, throw them in the tax office? Because people, if they're sitting there while they're waiting in line, they'll look at them and
Okay,
hang with them. So I'm not here during the day, but just throw us a good stack in the tax office.
thank you so much. We will do that. We'll get them printed. Thanks.
Pre-registration right now?
Yes, it's open. I actually went over today. I have some relatives that are coming. So I'm like, let me get in. And so they're the first ones on the list. So we just opened it up, but it is available. So again, hey, there could be something there you could buy for somebody for Mother's Day, right?
Sure.
Like you last minute shoppers. You got a week before Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. Marion, you have anything to add? No?
Mary did justice. We're very excited about the fundraiser. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Planning and codes?
We got two new businesses coming in. Actually, they came to the office today. One is the old Shannon Sweet Shop, and it's going to be charcuterie.
Charcuterie,
Yeah, where she makes little sandwiches and
like
Like it.
little cheese and snack trays and, okay, charcuterie trays.
But she plans on opening. I think she's pretty much ready to go. She had her inspection today. And, which is in the old Shannon, what is it, 3776 Willow Avenue. And then,
3776, yeah, that's the sweet spot.
Ice cream, yeah, sure. And then 3857 Willow Avenue in the rear, which is behind the chiropractor, is going to be a barber shop. There's that little building and sits down in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's.
Is that the one that had the teepee outside and stuff last year? Yeah,
A
okay.
couple years ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, down in there. And he plans on opening up down there.
Okay, and the Grove is open.
Some shop, did that open up?
Yeah.
I heard it's pretty good. I haven't been.
Yeah, I'm seeing some pretty good reviews about the food.
Those two new openings seem pretty good so far. So.
I have a question. Do you know what the Crunchy Bird is? Or the Crunchy Bird up across the Lebanon shops? What?
It's a Korean chicken.
Korean chicken up there.
Okay.
Mongolian.
I believe they deep fry it, and he has like a certain.
The Mongolian one. Right.
Yeah.
The Peruvian.
Okay, I see the sign and I'm thinking, what is this? I didn't picture anything. Okay.
Korean chicken.
A lot of food places coming in, so we're going to end up being a foodie borough. Okay, anybody have any questions for Paul? If not, we'll move on to public safety. The fire department, our chief, hooray.
Be a little different than what you're used to, so since I came earlier as well.
It says, answer the call. Council Shannon Volunteer Fire Department, join us today.
Here you go, Mr. Mayor.
Pretty cool.
So the Castle Shannon Volunteer Fire Department was awarded $10,200 through a FEMA Safer grant through the Allegheny County Volunteer Fire Departments Association, which we're a member of. The award was for the recruitment of new volunteer firefighters. With this award, we were granted a billboard on a Larimer billboard. It's currently at 250 Mount Lebanon Boulevard. So if you're coming in from Mount Lebanon into Castle Shannon, you'll see the billboard promoting the recruitment of new firefighters. It was installed a little over a week or so ago and will remain up through the end of June. In coordinating with this grant, we have printed up some yard signs, like the one in front of the podium here, to to be placed around the borough to recruit new members to the organization. So I'm here basically to ask permission from council if we can place some of these signs on borough property, i.e. in front of the borough building, parks, ball fields, maybe even a sign on the corner of Biddy's.
Does anyone have a problem with that? You can put one on the corner of my house. They love to they get that cut through traffic there.
We could do that.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go and start placing signs without permission. So
Yeah.
I called Mike yesterday, talked to him. He thought it was best that I come up and ask for permission. So before I just start placing signs, I wanted to get permission.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
Not at all.
I don't know.
And then next time you're driving through by Carbonero's up there, take a look at the sign. It's a pretty nice sign. There's a firefighter on it. It's got the Castle Shannon logo. And
I saw that. It is cool. Yeah.
So, talked with Dan that owns the 250. He's allowed us to put some signs, so we're getting some businesses involved as well too. So start watching for signs, bring it up until I get approval from the businesses, which hopefully will be a nice little spring campaign for us to maybe get some new members. We've been doing good the last couple of years. We've been averaging at least a member every month or every other month. So hopefully this little promotion will get us 2 or 3 per month or 2 or 3 every other month.
Is there an age requirement for?
14 to 110.
So I still feel like 14.
You fit in there. You're close to 110.
There you go, Mayor. I appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
don't understand that.
Thank
You're a
you.
little low.
Chief, you have anything?
Tonight is the first night of construction season. I have an officer working in detail from 8 o'clock to 6 a.m. Along Route 88. They're going to start up Connor Road and work their way down to the borough line and turn around and go up the other way. So we have an officer every night this week, watch for construction. So this is just they're working on marking the lines and whatnot to do slope repair, guide rail repair, and storm sewer repair. And then the real project will continue on through probably early fall.
Are they gonna stop production during Carnival Week?
Yes, that's part, PennDOT already had that when we had our pre-construction meeting. So
Okay.
they're going to make announcements for Carnival Week.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, quick
Did you just say
question.
something about Carnival Week?
Yes.
I was asking Jeremy, did we find out if they're working Carnival Week? And then
They during pre-construction meeting, they're well aware. Somebody got to them long before I did. Carnival Week.
I got to depend on a long time.
On the lavatory repair in the cell, that wasn't borough funds, correct?
The property or the piece of, we could buy furniture or we could buy equipment with forfeiture funds. We cannot pay for labor. So we split that between the borough and forfeiture fund. That was, that toilet and sink thing that we replaced is part of a whole infrastructure. Both cells are tied together and tied into the walls and the floor. That's 30 some odd years old and had never been repaired, and it just finally failed. And because it was an unexpected expense, worked with borough manager, we worked out how to come up with the revenue to take care of it.
That seemed awful expensive for a toilet.
Again, it was either tear apart the walls and the floor and rebuild and put the whole entire infrastructure in, or repair the one we had, and this was the way to go.
Get a warranty on that.
First time it's
It lasted 35 years last time we did it, so.
You got another 35 coming.
Stainless steel, we'll hopefully get another 35 years out of it.
Thank you.
How much time did you spend on that?
Okay, Public Works.
10,000 flushes.
How much time does he spend?
Public Works.
Public Works. The only question I have, is on, what is on the remainder of our salt order? Are we done or do we have more coming?
Madam President, the borough purchased 140% of contract amount. So we, based on our agreement with the provider, we can be at as low as 60 and as high as 140.
So we were at 140.
So with our last order, we're at 140. That probably 300 tons from the foreman's estimate in the salt shed. I actually was by there after I had spoken with them last week because I wanted to take a look. And then I went back I was back again later in the week because I wanted to look at the salt shed. What I'm planning on doing is having Lennon Smith come in and do a quick presentation for council. I can't remember if it's at your next meeting or if it's at the second meeting in April, just to talk about some strategy about replacing that salt shed.
It's getting pretty beat up.
It's getting beat up. It's getting old. It does need to be repaired.
They are.
And so,
Remember how expensive they are.
staff will share some thoughts with council on how we might want to approach that.
Is there any possible grant money available?
Well, the borough had applied for a grant in the past, had not been funded. And so that's why we decided to think about value engineering the project and having a couple of other options for council to consider. So that's why I thought it'd be best to schedule a presentation from Lennon Smith. So you can just talk about it and council can provide some guidance.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Board reports, Allegheny County Boroughs Association. We met 2 weeks ago. We had a presentation from Allegheny Forward, which is a program looking for input from county council and the county for the new county executive on where we want to see Pittsburgh and Allegheny County moving in the next 100 years. So I think there is, did we put that stuff out front?
We haven't put it yet, but
Okay, we have materials that'll be out there for anybody that wants to look at it and see about the Allegheny County Forward. Civil service, any?
We interviewed 3 candidates last Thursday, and the civil service chair sat in and reviewed the process for the first time in a long time. We had 3 chiefs from outside of Allegheny County, and all 3 candidates did pass the oral board. Disappointing that we continue, and all of my peers say the same thing. There just is a lack of candidates.
They did pass or they did not pass?
They did. 3 passed, yes. So.
The hearings were a little off. Okay, economic development. I don't know that we have anything to report there.
Madam President, the only thing we're waiting for is one more document from our consultant on the Biddies project. Once we get that piece of paper or papers, we'll be able to submit those to our funding source, and then we'll be able to seek reimbursement for that grant. So that's moving forward. I did talk to PRT to bring back up our discussion about PRT providing the list of the developers that they had sent invitations out for their RFP process. They had expressed a willingness to share that list with us, so we're just waiting to get the final answer from their legal folks whether they can share that list with us or not.
And medical rescue team, South?
Yes, the next meeting is day after tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th at 7 p.m.
SHACOG met this past Thursday and with a presentation from, refresh me, which one was we have? I go to so many of these meetings, they start to boggle.
We had PRT that presented for the bulk of the time, and he was talking about the new bus lines that PRT is investigating.
Rethinking the transportation. And
then we had a presentation from Allegheny County as well about their
Allegheny
program.
Forward. So
Was that line? Was that the one between downtown and Oakland? That situation? Or
they're
are you
talking
something else?
about all the lines,
All
the eliminating, compressing, expanding, lines which lines are well used, which lines are not so used, which lines go through, not wealthy neighborhoods, that the people that actually use the transit, they're doing a lot of study. And so that's a long range project. If you remember, they were here, they had somebody at the St. Anne's Fish Fry last year collecting, with just presenting information and trying to get information on, they had a booth set up. So they had been in all the communities trying to gather information. It's an ongoing project. So, and it'll probably be still going on for a couple of years. So they presented at Shaycog, and then, of course, we had the usual, we discussed the parking situation that might occur or might not occur when the draft comes, that everybody's going to be parking where they shouldn't be parking, they hop on the T and go there. So that was discussed in Shaycog and what those communities were, how they were approaching it. So it's, we'll, I think, bring that up in some new business later.
And Madam President, there was also discussion around the executive committee meeting with Cargill to talk about the future of the salt contract. And so the Shaycog now has an executive committee in place, which is made up of 4 elected municipal representatives and then 3 municipal managers. And the plan is for the executive director and the executive committee to meet with Cargill, talk about what municipalities experienced this year, how we can overcome those, and what the future might be looking like.
We don't end up with salt shortages. Who knows? We may not see a winter like this for another 10 years. But
Well, when you got it coming up from the river and the river's freeze, that's not too much of a guarantee to get your salt.
yeah,
I don't like that at all.
well, I think they're reviewing how that's all going to be handled. Okay, the Allegheny County Southwest Tax Collection Committee. I don't think we have anything there.
Well, Madam President, the committee only meets quarterly, so that's why there's not a whole lot to report on a monthly basis. But the committee did meet on March 12th at 3 o'clock. It was a virtual meeting. Next meeting will be in September. That too will be a virtual meeting. Basically, they were doing their beginning of the year work of electing officers and their members at large for their management committee. So that was the bulk of the meeting. It wasn't a very long meeting. But I did want to share with council that the contract with Jordan Tax Services, that contract with them has been finalized. So that was something that, as you recall, they were working on, and that was a bit contentious there for a while. So that's all been resolved, and the contract is in place.
Thank you. Mayor's report.
Yeah, I saw where there was a big breakfast down at Coriopolis where they got a lot of cocaine and mushrooms to make hallucination drugs and guns and money. And they got a truck, a car. Too bad our guy wasn't in it so that we could have got some more forfeiture. And the other question I have for Paul is Dan and I were wondering how much that barber was going to charge for haircuts.
I didn't get to ask them yet.
I don't see much up there. It should be pretty cheap for you guys. I'm sorry.
I thought we'd get a bargain, 2 for maybe.
Dave, you interested?
And moving on, manager's report.
I have nothing, Madam President.
Solicitor's report.
I have nothing.
Whatever, it's a U-Haul place. What's going on down there?
We received a proposal for resolving it from their attorney. Paul's reviewing it, marking it up, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we have a resolution so we're not in court again.
Okay. I saw a gazillion U-Haul trucks down there. So that's, now they decide that's going to be their main business.
That's a bigger spot than I thought it was.
We don't know.
I drove by
Okay.
there the other day.
Likely, that's where they've said they make their abilities.
Hopefully. Thank you. Real estate tax collector?
No report, just collecting.
Thank you. Public comment on non-agenda items. No one wants to address council? Excuse me. Time out for a sneeze. Old business?
I have a question. We have a day throughout the year for appliances and pickup for garbage, your TVs and.
Electronic.
Well, it's all
Electronic.
electronics.
Yeah, the stuff and stuff. We technically don't have
No, my,
PRT has them throughout the year. There are not any in our area. I think the closest one is at Settlers Cabin, and it is in September.
Upper St. Clair has them.
Yeah,
Every,
South Park and
They build their own.
the second Saturday
You're about-
you don't have a residency requirement.
well, anybody can go.
Well, I know South Park's doing theirs, and it's paid through their garbage haulers, so it's, I don't know what the specifics are, so. I was just curious if we offered that, if that was in our garbage contract, if they would do something like that.
because it's not in the contract, and I don't recall seeing anything like that.
Okay.
Usually, there is, even though it's included in the contract, there's usually some cost associated with managing those types of events. So
Yeah.
it's certainly something staff keep
I
an
just
eye
didn't know
on.
if we did that or not, that's all.
Well,
No.
and I, as I mentioned in my weekly reports to council, I'm sitting on the Connect Steering Committee for Material Management, and those types of events have been part of some discussions about municipalities collaborating, putting on events, and trying to cost share because they can be expensive. So if something comes from that, I can certainly bring that to council for consideration.
Thank you.
I've put those events on before in prior positions, so I'm familiar with the events.
Nancy, I have a question under new business. I had several residents inquire about why we don't have any shredding event like they used to every year. And at the fire hall, I know when Fontana and Miller were around, they were the ones that usually got something like that going. But since they're both not representing us anymore.
Well, maybe that's a question for Jan when she comes, the new representative, when she was in the SACA. Is that her name? The new representative that took Van Miller's
Yeah,
place?
right, yeah. Well, I'll ask her, but.
Yeah, she'll be at the borough building, so, or the fire hall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll ask her, but I don't know why we quit doing that.
Well, it was in conjunction with, it was usually what, was that Memorial Day weekend?
It was Memorial Day weekend and the Revitalization Corporation took charge of that.
So, Madam President, it could have been something that was grant funded that was managed through CSRC.
They paid for it.
Or they must have,
At the time, they funded it.
so they must have had some sort of a funding source that allowed them to be able to put that on. It's maybe something to bring up at a future meeting just to see if it's something that, if there's enough community interest to bring it back.
To have them come in and do it.
Back then, they charged like $5 too.
Yeah.
That one case at 5, they said, they were,
Yeah.
$1,000, Your Honor.
1,000.
For, I think it was 2 or 3 hours.
It can get pretty expensive.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think maybe when Fontana and Dan Miller, maybe they would each chip in 500 or something to have it.
Perhaps, yeah.
And
I
we'll have
see
to-
they're doing it in other boroughs.
All we need to do is reach out to the state reps and most of the time they're willing to do it.
Yeah,
Nobody's reached out to them, I'm sure, since Dan and Wayne have been gone. That's my guess.
yeah, I think that's
Well,
probably,
Miller's not there anymore. Now you have a new.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, since Dan's gone, yeah.
we should reach out to the, I guess,
Jen
them.
and
Jen.
Piscatawna.
Yeah. And
Bless you.
new business?
Yes, I have something. I think everybody's pretty well aware that the largest event in city of Pittsburgh's history is coming up on April 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and they're expecting anywhere from 500 to 700,000 visitors into the city. The one thing that they are saying is the best way to get in is going to be public transit and the T. You're all familiar with the T in this town since it runs right through the middle. Council was working on a resolution to restrict parking on especially the roads that the residents have no off-street parking. so that they leave for work in the morning on Thursday and they come home from work, they'll be able to find a place to park. That's our hope with our resolution that we're working on. It's not quite ready yet. We talked about it in length earlier this evening. We have some things to work on, but the idea is to be able to protect our residents and business owners, that they'll be able to maintain some sort of parking with people coming in. But PRT is expecting all of the parking rides to be filled by 10 a.m.
Well, they
That's
put
what
out
they're
some,
anticipating.
they put out some information, and there was a virtual meeting that was held by them recently.
All the parking lots down around the stadium are going to be closing at the end of the month. The people that are charging nothing to park right now are going to be charging $250 a day downtown, or I should say on the North Shore. So I think Castle Shannon streets are going to be prime for parking if we don't try to protect our residents and business owners. So that's what we're working on right now.
I want to keep an eye on the 3 or 4 Airbnbs that we have in Castle Shannon and make sure they're not over occupancy as well.
We just did a resolution on, or an ordinance on that recently.
So that's my concern.
They're supposed to, what did we pass it? One
To provide parking off street
for each bedroom, one spot for each bedroom.
So we're supposed to apply for a permit too.
What's that?
Yeah,
To
with the
apply for a permit.
With the
that.
permit, so.
Are they aware of that?
As of not yet, no. But they will be shortly.
So there won't be any obligation to the residents, and we're trying to work on that. It's, they'll be able to do their own thing. It's going to be trying to be a big discouragement for anybody coming into town that's trying to find a place to park.
There was some discussion at the Shakog meeting also with, since there was a rep there from PRT, that they're going to do free transportation, and they've got money from the NFL to fund that.
NFL's dictating everything.
They're getting $350,000.
What's that?
They're getting $350,000 from the NFL.
Port Authority.
Bus drivers and trolley drivers.
To have for free for them, make them.
So even more incentive for them to ride the T.
Yeah, so it's going to be. So we're going to do what we can to protect our residents, and we're working on it. Any other new business?
Well, since the chief mentioned it about the Airbnbs, is it something the police department would do that Thursday? Drive by and see if there's more people that should be in that.
Or is that Paul's enforcement? Yeah, that's a.
Well, that's a weekend deal.
Know who they were.
So that's an impossibility then.
Well, the chief doesn't know who they are, but Paul knows who they are. I'll watch the one up from my house. I'll watch that. If there's no other new business, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
Do we ask the NFL for money?
There's free too.
What? Kevin, we'll ask the NFL for that money.
What's that?
We'll ask the NFL for that money. Last week's party.
I'm waiting for Goodell to go, why are you giving us?